Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to myself again, once again. Hopefully you'll click on this video with a good mood, and hopefully I put a smile on your face, or maybe I don't know. Really, welcome back. Subscribe, like, comment. Do the usual. But yeah, You know what's funny? I've been talking. I actually recorded this already, but then I checked out. I did not click start, or I double click and it stopped recording. So this is like my second take on this, so it's not gonna be fresh. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's a long story, as I said. We have time. It's not that we're going anywhere, I guess. Well, the short version is that I used to be a human, same as, well, not you. I was diagnosed with cancer and there was nothing they could do to help me. That's when a corporation called Pandora offered to shove my soul in this thing. An unorthodox remedy for sure. Yeah. The idea was that if they could somehow separate my soul from my body, I could live forever inside this synthetic body, I guess. Of course, we still don't know if I had a soul to begin with, which is why I'm not exactly brimming with enthusiasm right now. Huh. And here I thought I had issues. The girl looks pretty unimpressed with your story for whatever reason. You definitely expected a bigger rise out of her than whatever you got. So what if it turns out that you don't have a soul? Are you going to shut down and die the moment you find out? If that happens, I guess it'll mean that I really am a fake. That the real Isaac died 2 weeks ago, alone and without his family. That I'm only deluding myself into thinking that I'm alive when I'm really just another AI. An AI smart enough to behave like a human, but not smart enough to realize that it isn't human to begin with. As you ponder over this dreadful possibility, you see Daphne turn to face the other way, uncomfortable with the trouble she's stirred up. That sounds harsh. You wouldn't say. Hey, don't act like there's anything else I could say. It's not like I encounter stuff like this every day. I guess all I can say is, I'm sorry? Judging from her expression, not even she seems to be fully convinced by her own apology. You suppose you can understand her. Your issues and struggles aren't relatable or easy to understand for most. At least she's trying to be supportive, which is more than you can say for most others you've met in the past few weeks. It's alright. Like I said, it's just a bad theory. I'm sure the scientists at Pandora will disprove it eventually. That said, it's probably best if we stop talking about it for now. Shall we get back to the game? You mean the game I'm currently wrecking you on? Weird choice, but sure. Right on cue, you realize that you lost about 5 more sets there while you were busy explaining your predicament. I kind of feel for Isaac. It's like I'm imagining in his shoes right now when you're deciding, are you real or not? What is your purpose? Well, for us, we know we're... That's a good question. Are we real? You ask that yourself and then come back to me, and then you feel like crap. Well, don't think about it anymore. Just say, yeah, you're real 100%, because you could feel stuff. You're real. You're using your senses to confirm that it's real. But yeah, it's good to know that your hands can still move your character while you're thinking of other things other than the game. You just sorry. You just wish those movements were a little better than that. You have a feeling that your performance wouldn't improve all that much even if you gave it your all. This video game's much tougher than you initially thought it'd be, and your opponent much tougher still. Are you thinking that Are you thinking that you hear Daphne address you? Oh wait, no, sorry. As you're thinking that, you hear Daphne address you once again. That's why it sounded and felt weird reading that out loud. So you defended Apollo from some thieves, right? Now that's a little out of the blue. You expected her to ask about this topic at some point, but not this early, especially when the person you're talking about isn't even here to listen to it. Regardless, you see no reason not to answer her question now that she's formulated it. I did. I'm pretty sure we already established that. We have, yeah. That said, you wait for the human to make her point as her character gets knocked out once again, only a few hits away from returning the favor. I still don't get it. Huh? What do you mean? I don't get why you did it. Why would you go out of your way and take a beating for him? After all, you know how this counter deals with those who participated in fights. It would have made more sense for you to pretend you didn't see anything. You understand what she means. You had similar thoughts after the scuffle too. But Mary promised the law couldn't touch you anymore, so you're pretty sure you're gonna be fine in that regard. Would you have preferred me to join the thieves and start beating him up? The human doesn't seem to... The human... Oh man, Isaac, you that dry ass humor, man, or something. And that's just said out flat. You just said that out flat. The human doesn't seem to pick up your irony. She answers your hypothetical. Of course not, but at least I could have seen that coming. Seen that coming? Aren't you being a little extreme right now? The girl shakes her head at your question, a confused and empty look in her eyes. I'm still weirded out by her face, man. I'm just being realistic. You had nothing to gain from getting involved. It's like imagining humans with no nose. It just feels weird, right? Because our brain is just like wired to like, hey, that's a human. Same with dogs and animals, like those that are used with the humans, and then the moment they found out this human has no eyes and nose, what the heck is that? They get weirded out a little bit, just a little bit. A regular person would just walked away, or maybe recorded the fight and put it on YouTube or something. Meanwhile, you charge in without a second thought. She does have a point. You truly did act on nothing but a whim back then. Even had you known that you'd be rewarded with a good meal for your troubles by Apollo, it wouldn't have been enough to justify your reckless actions tonight. Especially considering what could have happened had someone caught wind of what was going on. Yeah, both of them got those points, correct? Yeah, they both got some of those points. I kind of agree with Daphne, but also agree with Isaac. It's out of his goodwill, while Daphne is skeptical of it, which makes sense. Like, some stranger helped you. Why? Right? Especially if you know, people would just whip out their phones and crap. Or like, some people would just stand there like, oh no, what do we do? Look, I get it. I'm sorry for doubting you, alright? You helped us out tonight, and I'm grateful for that. I'm just a little surprised is all. We're not used to people helping us out like you did. That's just how it has always been for us. That's why I have to ask, why would you do that? Why would you go out of your way and endanger yourself for someone you didn't know? Why did you do it indeed? Among all the answers you could give, you don't know which would be the most accurate or truthful. In the end, however, you feel confident enough to share this one, because I felt like it was the right thing to do. The human's expression appears to crack as you give her your answer. She doesn't seem to know how to reply to your answer in the slightest. The right thing? What even is that? For a moment you think that she's just messing with you, but her words are so sincere that you have to do a double take. You're kidding, right? The girl stays silent for a while, seemingly unsure whether she should even answer that question entirely. I'm not. I really don't know. Do you? Now there is another question you never thought you'd be asked. What's up with all these people asking you strange questions as of late? Well, the right thing to do is the right thing to do. You know, something that you just have to do because it's the right thing. Maybe Isaac was a good, kind-hearted soul back then. I mean, based on what's happening, you know, it's pretty pissy about everything, but I get it. I'm pretty pissy about everything again as well. I also have anxiety. Everybody has them. Some have it harder than others. You know, we all try to fight our problems and insecurities every day. No, should I go to work on Monday? When the moment you go, do I look okay? Do I smell alright? I took like a bath. I scrubbed all the right places so many times. It's painful. You know, things like that. Or like, oh, I'm gonna have to practice driving with my family relative or father or whatever. Oh, what if I get yelled at? All of these things, you know. Yeah. You were so unprepared for that question you couldn't avoid using circular thinking to explain your point. Much to the girl's dismay, even you are disappointed by how stupid you sounded while trying to explain such a simple concept. And how are you supposed to know that something is the right thing to do? How can you tell when you have to do something? Damn, those are questions right there, huh? Let's hope you can give her a slightly better explanation this time. Wouldn't want to make a fool of yourself before her for the umpteenth time tonight. Well, you know, because you can feel it, like, in your heart. Something in my heart? Silence and doubt yet again. You may have known Daphne for about 20 minutes now, but it already feels so weird seeing her like this. I guess a better way of explaining it is that had I not tried to help Apollo, I'd have surely regretted it. I know that I had no real reason to help out your brother, but Had something happened to him when I could have prevented it, I likely would have regretted it for the rest of my life. I guess that's true. Right? Someone's getting mugged. No knife, no gun, nothing. Or maybe you see someone trying to make a moves on a girl late at night. Assuming that's a scenario right there. You have many options. You could just ignore it if you saw it, or you could just ignore it, do your own thing. Maybe get on a bus, jeep, tricycle, whatever commute you take, or do the right thing and possibly risk something else. Doing the right thing. Let's say you're like 20 years of age, or even you're in your teenage years, it's hard, right? It's very difficult. Doing the right thing takes the greatest of wills. Doing the easy thing is, well, it's easy. Really, barely an inconvenience. Hell, more convenient than the right thing to do, right? I relive that moment from earlier tonight over and over every day and curse myself for not doing what I could have. Wow, interesting. The girl keeps quiet for a while as she mulls over your words. You can't quite tell what's going through her head right now, but it's clear that she's taking your words so hard. Sorry for the background noise. I'm like fixing something right now. Can't say I understand everything you said, but I think I'm starting to get it. Well, that's good at least. Though, is it really that hard to understand? Look, your answers are tough, alright? And your questions are weird. Huh. Touché, I guess. Huh, yeah, I guess. Wow. What can I say? I'm ignorant like that. You're not ignorant. Yeah, I am. There's tons of stuff I don't know, alright? Especially when it comes to dealing with other people. I didn't exactly have many friends growing up. Is that so? Apollo said something like that too. The girl hesitates to meet your gaze, an unhappy look on her face. I'm sorry if my questions are weird. I didn't mean to offend you or anything. You didn't offend me. I was just a little surprised is all. I don't mind these kinds of questions. You're not even the first to ask me stuff like that out of the blue. I'm just happy to help, really. Daphne hints at a smile as she turns to face you once again. Well, thanks for all the help then. Heart. After that exchange is over, you go back to focusing on the game for a while. You're slowly getting the hang of it, but you're still nowhere near Daphne's level. Even when she plays the supposedly worst characters in the game, she still handily beats you by a long margin. I kind of remember when I played the game. I think I played the Super Mario. It was a DSi game, or the DS, and some of my friends had that as well, and we played like the LAN, competitive, or it's a versus thing. Oh man, I was wrecking them. I was smoking. We played that game. I was winning so many times. It was like get 10 stars or something, or 8 stars. I can't remember the number, and I was just owning them. I don't know. I just feel I gotta get Daphne, and you're like saying, yeah, I'm doing a handicap and stuff, blah 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 blah. But you're just that good, or rather, you played more of the game rather than them. That's it. You become so focused trying to snatch a win from her, you almost don't notice her sliding closer to you while you play. Anyway, since we were talking about it earlier, what can you tell me about the people who attack Apollo tonight? Huh? Interesting. Maybe it's connected to her. Maybe he was getting targeted because of her. I don't know, man. Shouldn't she be asking Apollo about this, or at least ask you in his presence? Nevertheless, you see no reason not to answer her reasonable query. There were two guys and a girl, all about 20-something. Aside from one of them who was carrying a baseball bat around, they just looked like average people, just a bunch of idiots trying to make a quick buck or something. You notice that Daphne's performance in-game is starting to dwindle all of a sudden, likely as a result of her focusing her attention on this important talk. I see, so you know what they want from Apollo? They said something about his money, but that's about it. Why? The human barely reacts as you finally take one of her lives. Did those guys give you any trouble when you stepped in? Did she even hear your question just now? She looks like she did, and yet... I mean, not really. They tried to fight me off, but I was more trouble than they could handle, it seems. I don't think they would have even picked that fight had they been able to see who they were really messing with. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. One of them had an ability. I think he was just a regular cryomancer. Well, as regular as ability users get anyway. Luckily it was nothing I hadn't handled before, but... Damn it, they're sending people with abilities after us now? You interrupt your explanation as you realize that Daphne is muttering something under her breath, her expression half hidden from you as she retreats further into the sofa. Something is amiss here. Something spicy. What in the world is she talking? Oh no way. Hold on a moment. Are you saying you know who those guys were? Upon realizing that you heard her and wish to know more, the woman suddenly turns defensive. That's not any of your business. Not my business, but... I said what I said. Don't make me repeat myself. And keep your voice down for F's sake. Apollo could hear us. You've no idea why Daphne would rather not involve her own brother in this discussion, seeing as though he's the one who was harassed by those thugs in the first place, but you're willing to agree to her conditions if it means prodding her a little further. Do you know what they were after? You said it yourself, money. Right. Does the fact that you know them means this is a regular occurrence for you? No answer, so it's a bingo. Who were they really? More silence. You understand that you're being a little too, rude by pressing her for information like this, but given the apparent gravity of the situation, you simply cannot hold yourself back. Come on, are you really gonna keep all this stuff to yourself? This isn't your problem to deal with. Not my... You're honestly astounded that you've managed to keep yourself from shouting so far. I went out of my way to protect your brother from those people. He was never meant to go out there in the first place. I still don't know why he... Daphne shakes her head as she turns to look at you once again, a pleading look on her face. Listen, I'm thankful for your help tonight. Really, I am. But that doesn't mean you're suddenly involved in all this. This is my mess to fix, not yours. What this mess even is, you still don't know. You have a vague idea, but... maybe now that she's willing to compromise, she might find it in her to answer some of your questions. Alright, fine. I get why you don't want me to involve myself or whatever. But why do you not want to involve him? He's the one who got jumped by those thugs in the first place. Apollo doesn't deserve to get wrapped up in all of this. He's innocent. He's already gone through so much. The last thing he needs is something else to worry over. And yet nothing's gonna stop those people from harassing him again, is it? Once again, the human can reply with nothing but silence. There's a difference in this quiet, however. Whereas before you could only perceive anger in it, now it feels more as though it's born of regret. Look, As you're about to ask the adamant human even more questions, a familiar voice coming from behind the couch startles you both. Hey, you guys having fun? The sudden sight of Apollo warmly smiles at you renders you thoroughly speechless. How long has he been there? Judging from the looks on his face, he must have just arrived, but... I just noticed Apollo looks more detailed, and his sister, Daphne. Whoa, you actually beat her? The boy stares at the screen in front of you, where your victory is clearly displayed in the post-battle results. You totally forgot about that video game, so taken you were in that argument with Daphne. I'm impressed, Isaac. That's a huge achievement. If he really just arrived, does that mean he really didn't hear the harsh words the two of you were whispering at each other? You have a thought of telling Apollo everything on the spot, seeing as though his sister likely won't. However, seeing as though you still know so little about what's going on, perhaps you should wait before doing something so careless. That's true. Why do you think how best to proceed? You assume you're talking with Apollo as though nothing's out of the ordinary. Don't be so impressed. I lost plenty of matches before getting to this point. Oh, don't sell yourself short. Winning against Daphne is no small feat. I would know. I've still yet to properly win against her. That's not true. You've won plenty of times against me. Yeah, when you let me, I can tell that you go easy on me. That's not true. And yet the human's hesitance to greet her brother's gaze says otherwise. It's alright. I'm sure I'll be able to win eventually. Maybe you could even give me a few pointers, Isaac. Huh? Me? Of course, if you want to share your knowledge with me anyway. It'd be my pleasure. The young man's lips curl into a happy little smile, likely thinking of all the fun you'll have together. This light-hearted conversation is quite the contrast to the heated nonsense you were discussing with Daphne a while ago. You can't blame Daphne for trying to protect that smile at all. Wait, at all costs. Maybe her decision to leave Apollo in the dark might not be as senseless as you thought. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. I came here to tell you guys that the meatballs are ready. Oh man, no man, I don't want Apollo. See, I don't want to. If Daphne dies, Apollo gets hurt. If Apollo gets hurt physically, oh my goodness, man, I can't handle that. I cannot handle that. I'm telling you this right now. Now that he mentions it, the inviting smell coming from the kitchen is more intoxicating than ever. It completely blocked that out while you were fighting with Daphne, but now I almost cried there. What the hell? You're glad that your new synthetic mouth can no longer salivate, else there'd be a gigantic lake on the floor by now. Dinner sounds awesome right about now. Do you want me to grab the plates and cutlery for you? Oh, there's no need. I already took care of everything myself. Plus, you're our guest. There's no way I'd ask that of you. Maybe you won't. And speaking of, guess who's on cleaning duty after we're finished? Not him, that's for sure. Tonight it was your turn to do the dishes. The human chuckles at her brother's reprimands. Alright, I'll take care of that, no problemo. The two of them sure are close, you wonder. Being an only child, you always thought siblings would be far more jaded between one another than this. It depends on the family, Isaac. I've seen families that are really, really wholesome with one another. And I've seen families... Yeah, from me. Yeah, got me that one, viewers. You got me, you got sleepy, you know, you watched me that one, yeah. Yeah, you got some families that are a little bit backstabby, you know, a little bit... They're nice in front of you, of course. Everybody's nice in front. But then, you know, you get some issues and dramas and rumors spread about you. And yeah. Stuff happens. Me on the other hand, I don't really give a crap, you know, but my grandmother does, and everybody does, I guess. But yeah. Wait, seem to care very deeply. Okay, one another. Watching the two of them smile at each other like that, you can't help but feel a knot in your heart growing tighter by the minute. Let me just check. Oh, yeah, I'm still recording. Sometimes I'm like, am I recording? Because yeah, it happened twice now that I could not record properly. Isaac, you alright? Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, that's good. You stopped moving for a second, so I got a little worried. So ready to join us for dinner? Of course, I've been waiting to try out your cooking all night. It really is nothing special, I swear, at least compared to Daphne's. Oh, please, who do you think I learned from, huh? With plenty of laughter in tow, the three of you start heading to the kitchen area, the fragrant smell of meatballs and tomato luring you in. While walking there, you feel Daphne whispering something in your ear. To answer your question from earlier, I'll stop them, trust me. The world gets a little bit more interesting. We have robots, cybernetics, we have actual human beings, and we have humans with a Y. So like anthropomorphic furries, I guess. And we have magic users or ability users, to be exact, not magic. Magic is using your environment, you know, wielding external powers, right? With that, the girl speeds up her pace and catches up to her brother ahead. Alright, if you say so, I'll trust you. At least for now. Let me see the meatballs, man. Let me see the balls. You haven't had a dinner this nice in quite a while, truth be told. The spaghetti is cooked to perfection. The meatballs are juicy and well cooked, and every bite you take drives you towards the next. You thought you'd never get to enjoy eating again now that you're synthetic. You all want to Apollo for proving you wrong. It's been a while since you last addressed one another, so taking you were with a fine meal before you, nonetheless, the quiet soon ends as a young lamb notices the pleased look on your face. I see that you're enjoying yourself. My sister's meatballs are truly the best, aren't they? Your meatballs. I've already got the mixture ready. You're the one who did all the real work. No, that's... I just did everything you asked of me, that's all. Hey, don't underestimate yourself. This food really is amazing. It's all thanks to you. The young lamb blushes as he turns away from you, evidently embarrassed. The sight's so cute you can't help but smile. His sister, on the other hand, is less interested in your compliments and more so with your appetite. Honestly, I'm surprised you can even eat all this. Oh, I knew you didn't like it. No, I didn't mean it like that. Give me a break. I'm talking about him being an android and all that. Is he even supposed to be eating right now? Doesn't it interfere with your systems or something, or are your microchips tomato sauce proof? I understand where you're coming from. I'm assuming he's still built like a human with organs and stuff, just, you know, man-made. Wait, oh wait, yeah, let's go with that. I understand where you're coming from. I couldn't figure that out myself for the longest of times. Long story short, the food is processed and disappears in my bloodstream over time. I'm not gonna be overdosing on sauce tonight, I can promise you that much. Bloodstream? Something like that. Yeah, feels a little nicer than fuel stream, even though it's not as accurate. There's fuel running through my body at all times. It activates a generator inside me that powers my system, then distributes that electricity across my body as it shuffles around. It also slowly dissolves organic material over time without risk to the integrity of my systems. I think it's even enriched by the stuff I consume. So you eat because it helps charge your batteries? Well, yes and no. On one hand, you're right, eating does contribute to keeping me healthy, but it's not necessary by any means. I can survive off of my base supply of fuel alone. So really, the reason I eat is that, well, I do it because I enjoy it, because it's fun. Though I already say something about that when we were in the lobby earlier? Oh, that's right, that's how we ended up talking about having dinner together, wasn't it? My apologies, I totally blanked out, again. Don't apologize, it's not your fault or anything. Besides, if everything, I should be thanking you for sharing such a wonderful meal with me. The lamb beams at your appreciative comments, and even the human seems a little happy at your response. However, she does appear a little perplexed about one specific thing you mentioned. Enjoy it? Why would you need to enjoy it though? Daphne! The girl seems a little troubled for a second, as if only now realizing the boldness of her question. Sorry, got a little ahead of myself. Let me go back a few steps. However, how often do you have to refuel? I imagine you gotta take breaks every once in a while. In theory, it's once a week, though I usually do it more often than that just to be sure. I've got a device installed in my place that takes care of that for me while I rest. I just plug in when I need a recharge and plug out once I'm ready to go, like a Tesla. It's an electronic car, my man, made from Elon Musk. Hey, I'm Elon Musk. I got this new spiffy Android here. Oh yeah, we gotta go to space and shit. We gotta all be turned to furries. You can rest? The human seems rather confused by your answer. For some reason, while she ponders what to ask next, Apollo takes over for her. That sounds interesting. Is it like a standby mode of sorts? Not exactly, no. A human brain is always working, even while asleep. People don't take breaks in between their conscious moments, and supposedly neither do I. If my systems stop working at any point, You don't even need to finish that thought for the two of them to realize what you mean by that. There's no way that could happen though, right? You certainly hope so. You didn't survive death once just to die a second time. Hell yeah, brother. And yet, before you can venture any deeper into the depths of your fear, the girl tries to bring the two of you back to a less traumatizing topic. Alright, so you can't just shut down and come back later, I get that much. But then how are you supposed to rest? When I'm refueling, I wear a special VR headset that allows me to unfocus a little. It's kind of like watching a movie or listening to a really deep song. Helps me relax and lose my grip on reality for a while. Like a dream? Yeah, kind of like a dream. Sounds like hell, man. Oh my god, I feel for Isaac. Holy crap, I can see the struggles. A very, very controlled dream. Definitely not as wild or unpredictable as the ones you used to have in your youth, which is both a blessing and a curse. Now that you think about it, you wonder whether this means you can also have nightmares. You'd think not, but then again, who knows what those lunatics at Pandora would do just to mess with you. I still don't get it. The human interrupts her train of thought with a strange interjection. What do you mean? All this stuff sounds cool, don't get me wrong, but also kinda unnecessary when you think about it. Eating, sleeping, dreaming, now that you're half machine, it's not like you need to do this stuff anymore. When you think about it, I guess it's more so to make him in touch with humanity, to keep him still tethered to him being human or human, whatever. Think about it, what if Isaac just went unhinged? What if there's more of him? There's like more like, there are people like him, if I recall. But yeah. What if they just said, no, screw the human race, fam. Let's all become cybernetics. No, full-on androids. She does make a point to reason. I'm just wondering why they bother to add all these things when you no longer require them to live is all. I'm not quite sure. For marketability, Isaac, for God's sakes, you can't sell this product on the shelf or for a healthcare plan if, you know, you can do all this stuff that it's like a person with who loves alcohol is about to die and he's like, oh yeah, I got this thing, I want to be an android or robot or something with my consciousness and whatnot, and then they say, no, yeah, you can't really drink, or rather you won't really have the taste, you can't drink, you can't do any of that, you just live. Yeah, sounds horrible. It's not something you gave much thought to before. Truth be told, you always thought your ability to do these things, even as a synthetic, was somehow normal, but now you see the strangeness of this situation. Why would Mary and the rest of her team do all this indeed? What motivation could drive her to help you retain all these interests, when all they are now is just meaningless fluff? Oh, maybe it's to help you feel better. Bingo, we got Mr. Apollo over here with the answers. To make me feel better? I mean, I guess you're right to say that all that stuff is kinda pointless and all, but I still enjoy eating nice food with you guys at my side, and nothing can beat hitting the bed after a long day either. Oh my god, this guy is just innocent, man, a fluff. Yo, if something happens to him, man, I'm telling you, I might stop playing this game. Maybe the people who made you wanted you to continue experiencing these things, even as an android. That way, you wouldn't feel bad over not being able to do certain things anymore. So I wouldn't feel any less human. That makes a lot of sense, actually. You're not sure how such simple reasoning hadn't occurred to you before. But this does explain even more than you originally thought, like your ability to still breathe of your own accord or walk around like a regular person instead of running on wheels or something. Exactly like I answered. Thank you, Apollo. Mary and her team really did conceive synthetics as the future of humanity after all. Apollo seems quite happy with his realization. It's nice to know that your friends at Pandora care so much about you. They must really like you if they're going above and beyond for you like that. You wonder whether you should tell them about that whole Arthur fiasco. Probably not. Better not risk yet another headache thinking about that abomination of science. They can be nice sometimes, yeah. Pandora's definitely nowhere near as bad as the companies I thought they were. I just wish that everyone else would be a little nicer to me too. Daphne turns away from you for a moment, looking a little embarrassed. She's like, oh shit, oops. Not a really good first impression of like shit-talking him at the hallway and in-game. Right, sorry about that again. Oh, don't worry, I'm not talking about you. I already accepted your apologies for that, we're cool. And yet Apollo averts his gaze from you nonetheless. You're pretty sure he knew in advance what was going to happen, but did nothing to try and prevent it. Just a bit guilty. No man, you're good man, Apollo. If I was there, no man, you're good, no problem. You're good, no, feel relieved. You know, calm down, you got no problem. N-O, nothing, nada. You're okay. His sister's definitely shady for not telling her brother about those things you talked about earlier, but some of the things Apollo did don't sit well with you either. Though this could all just be because of his memory issues, it could be that he simply forgot to warn you about his sister's bad side, or maybe he thought she wouldn't be as rude to you as she ended up being. Since you still don't have any definitive answers either way, you try to forget about these worries of yours for a moment and return to your dinner time conversation. When I said I was mad at people for treating me poorly, I was talking about all the people out there. Ah, right, you said something about that in the hallway earlier, didn't you? Something about how everyone else views you as some kind of weirdo? Something like that, yeah. Pretty much everyone outside of Pandora thinks I'm gonna cause the apocalypse by the way they look at me. I get that Kronos was a big thing 40 years ago, but still! A doubtful look on Daphne's face hints that she's not wholly satisfied with your explanation. Meanwhile, Apollo's gaze betrays that he's not quite sure what the two of you are even talking about. Wasn't that whole Kronos thing a pretty big deal though? Almost wiping out the entire planet isn't something most people view lightly, especially when half those people were there to see it happen firsthand. Even so, me and Kronos are nothing alike. At least you're pretty sure that's the case. And what I'm pretty sure is I'm ending this video right here. Hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you like these long videos for visual novels. You know, I'm checking the waters out, or maybe it depends on the game, but either way, I'm checking it out. Yeah, hope you liked the video. Hope you're enjoying yourself right now. You got nice food, or you have a house under. You know, if you're down under luck, gotta remember, it's not always gonna be there for you. There are times that there will be up. There will be times that it's a cycle. That's how life is. Is it painful? Hell yeah. Listen, I lost my grandfather, man. Think about that this week. November 21, Monday. Think about that. And I'm still going through. I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to do all this stuff, and I'm not downplaying your problems. Okay, I'm just saying, everyone's got them. Some of them do push more. You know, be a monster, as as Nor Jordan Peterson said. And after you become a monster, control the monster and be a kind human being. Right? All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching. See ya. Long outro. Bye.